This is the LowcoSports Lowdown Podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
And we got Mad Max along for the ride too. Special Sunday night edition, sort of the LowcoSports Lowdown, but we're calling it the LowcoSports Spring Playoff Bracket Spectacular because kind of jokingly called it that. And Misael Garzon said, "I'll come on, but only if that's the real title." Said, all right, fine, deal. So that's it. Spring Playoff Bracket Spectacular. We got a slate of guests line up as we check out the playoff brackets going into tomorrow. And up first, we're going to talk a little baseball. Let me get our little ticker going here too, because we do have schedules, Monday's schedule, and I'll let that run a few times and then flip it over to Tuesday's schedule. But we're going to start off with baseball, and we got both sides of the aisle covered here. We got the Stricklander to talk a little SCISA, and we got Coach Mullis, who, he speaks SCISA as well. He's fluent in SCISA. Stricklander, you're muted, buddy.
I am.
There you go. And our boy Blue is also in here.
My boy Blue.
I'm sure. So welcome, fellas. It is time for playoff baseball. And we've got, let me see if I can get the brackets up. We'll start. Well, you guys just start talking while I get these brackets up. We got playoff baseball coming up on Monday.
Yeah, it's all starting tomorrow. It is coming at us fast. And we got a busy first couple of days. Both SCISA and the high school league getting started early this week, and we got both going on Monday, including the high school league 4A getting going. 3A not until Tuesday, but we got high school league 4A and then SCISA 2A first round of those best of 3 series getting underway, and including those Patrick Henry Patriots back at the farm trying to defend their incredible title from last year. And it's just amazing fashion when they came back to win that crazy game 2 and then won that decisive game 3. Those Ferry brothers leading the way. Patrick Henry taking on Dylan Christian. We also got Thomas Hayward at Dorchester Academy. Rebels looking to get things started on the right footing. And then College and Prep at St. John's Christian in the 2A first round series. And then we get the 3A double elimination bracket going. JP2 Florence Christian, and the winner of that gets Hilton Head Christian Academy over in Bluffton. So potential for a local on loco showdown to begin HHGA's playoff run if JP2 can knock off Florence Christian, but they'll have to go on the road to do so. And the Golden Warriors will have to have a strong game from looking like Ross put them will potentially get the start. And they competed well against Hilton Head Prep. Lost that last meeting between those two teams, but JP2 they've got some scrappy ears at the top of that line who can make things tough. So definitely look out for JP2 if they can get rolling early in the playoffs. But then High School League 4A getting going tomorrow as well. And all 3 games on the road. But how about the Bluffton Bobcats sneaking in the very last at-large spot, number 16 seed. So good for the Bobcats, good for Coach Kitty's squad. They certainly deserve. They played tough all season long, had a couple of tough losses in region play, but found a way with that sweep over Colleton County to get their way in that last at-large spot. But it'll be a tough matchup for sure at North Myrtle Beach to begin their playoff run. May River will head to Irmo, and then Hilton.
No, May River's at home, baby.
River's at home. Yeah. Sharks. Okay, the Sharks will be at home.
Unless I missed something earlier, we're at home tomorrow.
No, they got the higher speed.
They do have the higher speed. All right.
Yeah. Home.
That's huge. That's huge to get that first home game, but it will be against that Irmo team.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What time we starting, Mullis?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Start. These start times always confuse me. Sometimes you got 6, sometimes you got 6:30, sometimes you got 7.
It's kind of a gentleman's agreement when you're traveling a long way. Yeah. That doesn't mean that it always happens, but we've always kind of tried to do, you don't want those guys getting back at 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, you can start. I mean, doesn't matter what time you start. I mean, it's not that big a deal.
Yep. So 6 o'clock tomorrow night at the Tank. Bobcats got a tough road to hoe after that bus trip up there, but man, they're in the dance.
Yep, that's all you hope for.
I keep forgetting they're doing. I thought we voted this thing out again, but evidently we didn't. So I thought we were back to the pod system, but we're not. So
no,
we were the test. last year, and I mean, did y'all see? Is the bracket out for Beaufort? Are they?
Yes.
Do they have the pods?
Yeah, so 3A
do.
pods.
That's what it looked like.
The 4A is the only one that does this.
Well, it's because of the weird setup with the region. You don't have a balanced mix of like 4 regions per lower state and upper state, so you can't really do the 4 teams in each pod. That's why.
Well, I mean, I know they vote on it. I know that. I know we had.
They may have done it in the past, but they kind of switched. They switched it last year. I know
they could still do it and just treat the at-larges as
and I know the coaches voted on it, so obviously the other way won out.
Yeah.
That Beaufort, George.
Look, I got to be honest with you. This is better. I just enjoy the other one better. It's just because it's like college baseball. It gives the kids the feel.
Yeah.
I think you got a better shot this way.
Right. Yeah.
So
I like the pods. I like the pods better, but I can see why they go with something different just because of the
Battery. Is that Battery Creek?
Battery Creek. That region, so.
They got in there.
Yeah, they're able to get in, and they get to lock them up.
North Charleston's region. There's only five teams, so
4 to 5 make it.
Get in.
Yep.
Yeah,
some of these
true.
get in. So.
That's a pretty good
it's always
ride.
nice to get to play at least 2 more games.
That's a pretty good ride up the walking ball.
It's Paulie's Island.
But I like Beaufort.
And then you got to turn around and go to either Marlboro or Brooklyn Casey.
Oh, jeez.
I like the chances for Beaufort against Georgetown.
Billy Sylvester coaches Georgetown. He pitched for the Braves. He's pretty good. Georgetown, they'll be good. Billy's a good, really good coach.
2-3 games should be a
Beaufort, when they play like lights out, they are tough to beat. But we've seen them have some inconsistencies over the season.
That's the key.
So hopefully hopefully they can clean up those some of those defensive mistakes that they've made during the season. Hopefully if they clean that up, it's going to be a really good game against that Georgetown team. And like you said, that Georgetown team is really good.
He's good. I mean that must be a really tough region.
Yeah. Who's the one?
Manning's not very good, and Dillon's not good, but I think Loris and Manning are pretty good.
I think the top of it. I think it's top heavy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Georgetown, I think, was a roughly 500 team this year. But Loris and
I got them at 15-10.
Okay.
But I bet they play a pretty good schedule.
I'd imagine so. I think they played, North Myrtle, and I think they played a pretty decent schedule. So
yeah, those are.
And then you got Gilbert sitting there.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I've seen that action.
Yeah. Gilbert and Beaufort had a rivalry last year in the playoffs, right? Didn't they get
it was Hanahan. I think it was Hanahan.
Well, there's definitely Hanahan, but I thought Gilbert. Oh well, Gilbert. I think they were like a friendly rivalry that they played each other a couple of times. That's what I mean by rivalry. Not like Hanahan, where like there was a chance that hands were going to be thrown every time.
I'm sure that's a friendly rivalry.
Hampton County.
Got to go all the way to Beaufort.
Sneaking in.
Where is Beaufort?
Lancaster.
I thought that was across the bridge over there.
Up there.
No, Beaufort.
Yeah, it's almost Monroe, North Carolina. I mean, it's way up.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, Beaufort. Yeah.
That's Monroe.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Monroe.
You go from North Carolina, that's Monroe.
And then you either got to play Bishop England or
yeah, it doesn't look great for those boys. I don't think Whale Branch got in, did they?
No,
I don't think so.
I wouldn't imagine so.
If they did,
no, I know they didn't because Tristan Roberts said baseball season was over. Oh, Bridges got in though. They go to Green Sea Floyd's.
Ooh, they're pretty good.
And then
that's up by the beach too somewhere. That's up by Myrtle Beach somewhere.
Yeah, that's up that way.
They haven't completely finished that bracket either because there's a 1 seed missing on that bracket.
Yeah.
Right now. Wondering who that is.
Region
stuff
4
missing.
That would be.
Guess that bracket's not finalized just yet. Joe Lenardi hadn't got done with that one yet. Take a look at the. But yeah, you guys got.
And this is
Irmo. What do you know about Irmo?
They got a dude. They got a pitcher.
Most people do. At least, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we didn't look too far into it. I mean, you just got. I think it's more about what we do at this point.
Right.
I think it goes for everybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's baseball too. Like, as long as you do what you do well, it kind of takes care of itself for the most part.
But I mean, they're going to be, they're going to be talented. I mean, that's a tough. Everybody up around Columbia plays pretty good.
Yeah.
And just don't read into anybody's records up there because you don't know who they're playing.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
looking at their schedule. I'm looking at their schedule.
Record doesn't mean a whole lot.
Yeah.
Record don't mean a whole lot.
You're playing a bunch of different teams, and it's really hard to tell who's going to be the best on any given night, on any given day. It's postseason baseball, and that's the fun of it. It takes one bounce one way or the other to turn the game, and there really isn't as much as you think between these teams, especially once you get into it. So that's what's fun about it, and it's just who's playing the best at this moment. I mean, who cares? Who cares what you did in March? Who cares what you did early April? You're in the playoffs, and it's what you do now in May, and that's the beauty of it.
You're preaching to the choir. I mean, you want to build it all till now, and you want to have everybody hot going and healthy. Yeah. Who's healthy and who's not is the question.
Yeah. I'm looking at that schedule for Irmo that they had this season. I mean, they got some tough teams. They got Lugoff Elgin, obviously, and AC Flora. I mean, it's not an easy schedule from what I'm looking at here. So I mean, they've had tough competition, but May River has had that.
But they're probably playing Brooklyn Casey. They're playing they're playing everybody around.
Airport
they're playing a great collegiate. Playing, it's tough. That's a tough competition, but May River's had that same tough competition as well. I mean, they're
not going to walk in here scared. That's what we told them.
No, not at all.
That's 100%.
You got to be ready to go from pitch one.
Yeah,
and then
you got a lot of young guys who. That
evidently with a lot less hair, from what I understand today, the haircuts were taking place.
Oh yeah.
They're pretty excited about
the Clippers came out for the playoffs. All right.
Well, it's either the Clippers or you get your hair bleached. It was one or the other.
Yeah, I'm glad they aired on the other side.
I'd bet $1,000 you call somebody veg head tomorrow.
Well, no, maybe probably 50-50. I think Tannen had it right. Don't take anything I say personally.
Hey, veg head.
But then you got to go with just Google it. Just Google it.
Oh, they've seen Major League, guaranteed.
Oh no, not all of them. None of them have seen Bull Durham.
All my kids, most of my waves kids have seen Major League.
Oh no, we'll see.
In fact, I referenced it in the dugout today. I said I thought you guys were going to do a Willie Mays Hayes thing on home plate there because Keaton almost caught AB on the base.
For any baseball players watching, if you haven't seen Major League, that is a travesty.
Yeah, you got to 100%.
That is a travesty.
You got to be able to say, you're like a banker in this. Anytime you're wearing a polo, like
that was fun. I
mean, so many good lines going.
So we went through. So Bluffton. Oh, Bluffton's got North Myrtle.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah.
Put that bracket back up there.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah, they got. We didn't see. Who does Hilton Head have?
Yeah, we didn't get down to that part of the bracket yet because you guys asked about the other one, so I had to get the other one up.
Oh, I know who Hilton Head's got.
Hilton Head's got West Florence.
West Florence, yeah, West Florence is pretty good. And I think.
Ooh, James Island's got Tangle with a upstate at large, which is always kind of a dangerous proposition.
Well, you never know about Wade Hampton. Wade Hampton's usually okay.
That was Greer last year.
That was Greer
last year. The lower state bracket.
Yeah, Greer went on a tear through that bracket.
And then you got York up here too.
Where does
AC Flores?
Loser?
Yeah, that's a nice
Loser of 16.
That's a tough bracket. My God.
So that means. Should Bluffton and May River either both win or both lose?
Ooh,
get another
we could have. Yeah, that
it flips, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it doesn't look like it.
So
Says
game one,
loser,
two,
game two
so
loser right here.
that game would be at the River on Wednesday if both those teams lose their first game, and we get a elimination Bluffton showdown. Now, hopefully, love to see May River win and not have to have that, or have both teams win and we get it in the winners bracket. So
it flips in the second round, like the second round losers cross bracket.
Right.
Yeah,
so
something happened. I know they flipped somewhere.
Yeah, so that you don't play this.
Because that's what happened last year. We ended up with Greer because the thing flipped.
Yeah. Well, you usually do that in a bracket in the set. You cross bracket every other time. You send
weird thing
to
like
the
SCISA softball
constellation, so you don't get rematches every time.
SCISA volleyball does that. You X over.
Yeah.
Same with wrestling brackets or tennis draws or whatever.
I like that. I like how we could potentially have a Bluffton rematch.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh, I love that.
None of those games are fun.
Hopefully,
none of those games are fun.
I mean, that's
it's fun for us because we know one of our teams is going to win it.
Right, get one winner. At least one of our teams stays alive.
It's no fun.
That's what we like.
Try to go play somebody else.
I hear you. It's like showing up to the travel tournament and you got local rival in pool play.
It is what it is.
But there's that, and then the SCHSL brackets.
Who is that? Oh, so they're in. God, look at that bracket. Go back. Or did y'all see that? It's South Florence, Lugoff Elgin, Hilton Head, and West Florence.
West Florence.
Yeah.
Jeez. And if Hilton Head loses,
they'll get South Florence or Lugoff. Jesus.
Wow.
That's a tough.
There's some pretty good baseball being played.
Now, and let me tell you, South Florence for the last. Everybody around here ought to know a little bit about South Florence.
Yep.
They've been around.
Yep.
Football.
Well, not only that, but baseball. Darren put them out, and then I think Buford put them out the next year, and I think did they win it last year? Or they got to the finals last year or something? They've got that. They had a pitcher that went to Coastal, but that's another story altogether.
Right. Yeah. Well, they were strong.
West Florence
wants to talk SCHSL.
West Florence is one of the teams that beat North Myrtle Beach.
Really?
I think so.
Okie doke. That's
Hilton Head's going to have their hands full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man,
it's a tough last few weeks of their season. They got beat soundly by Lucy Beckham at home. They have not found it, and that's not the way you want to trend into this time of year.
Don't throw any shade at them and getting their ass beat by Lucy Beckham. Lucy Beckham's good.
That's a good team, though, for sure. But they were 9 runs in the first 2 innings or first 3 innings. That's obviously not what you want to.
It happens.
Yep.
Yeah, that Lucy Beckham team is good.
Yep.
I'm looking at this 2A bracket. A lot of familiar teams from my playing days in baseball. Calhoun Academy had to drive up for a couple of those games. Lee Academy as well. Lee's always been a strong team in this 2A bracket. I don't know how they get some of those up there.
Their region was really bad this year, though. They were the best.
Do they still do the doubleheader or the first day is a doubleheader and then you go to their place?
No, Thursday.
Yeah, so Monday's at the higher seed, Tuesday's at the lower seed. If they go to game 3, it'll be at the higher seed. Which I think
that's the same when you were playing, Max, in terms of
when I was playing for Hilton Head Christian Academy, it was the same exact thing. Best of 3 series, higher seed gets the first game and the third game if necessary.
So I kind of like that. I kind of like that doubleheader, and then
because they used to play a doubleheader at the higher seed.
Yeah, you can be done with it tomorrow.
This is the issue I have with the best of 3 series. We played 2 rounds. We got to the semifinal round and lost to PD Academy when we were all in 2A at the time. And the problem was, first round we had to drive from. Now at this point we're on Hilton Head. We weren't in Bluffton, so a bit of a difference in time. We had to drive from Hilton Head to Calhoun Academy for game 2. We were the higher seed, so we got the Monday home game, and then we had to drive up. By state semifinals, we had to play PD. We were the 2 seed, they were the 1 seed, so we had to drive up to the Myrtle Beach area
Yeah,
to
Mullins.
play a game there. Yeah, we got home. Yeah, we got home at like 1-2 o'clock in the morning, and then we had to play a game the next day.
Yeah, that's.
While I was at home, we were exhausted.
I like to
Yeah,
refer to PD Academy as in the shadow of Pedro's sombrero.
Just south of the border.
This is part of the problem. I like the idea of the best of 3 series, but there's always an issue when it comes to traveling and stuff like that. Like
yeah, especially when it's like back
game
like 2 games in this many days.
We've got the worst.
You got 8
travel.
teams, you're gonna have to run around some.
Y'all do have the worst.
That's right.
Yeah, but when you play this type of format. So
Yeah, I'm looking at this.
Running around in a shower to get wet when you got 8 teams.
Yeah. I'm looking at this. Patrick Henry might have, traveling wise, possibly the worst out of this.
That's true. You're gonna have to go to Dillon on Tuesday, and then next week you're gonna have to go to Lee
or Calhoun.
It'll look like Hoosiers when they leave Furman.
Right. That's right.
God, and y'all know they're my boys now. Come on, that was a tasteful. They're my people up there. Don't take any offense to that, everybody.
I know they're your people. They're my people too.
You know, I'm looking at this. Dorchester looked kind of strong this year.
Is that the toughest competition, Strick?
What's Thomas Hayward's?
That's who you played in the finals last year, right? Dorchester?
No, we played Calhoun in the finals.
Okay.
Hayward's like 7-6. They finished 3rd in our region.
7-6, like total.
Yeah,
I think so. Something like that. 7-6, 7-7. Dorchester's solid. I've heard St. John's has a pitcher or two who's really, and by the time you get this part in the season, it's your pitching that was really what's going to carry.
Where is St. John's?
Monk's Corner.
Oh,
St. John's Christian.
Charleston, yeah.
That might be. They play pretty good baseball up there.
They do. Yes, they do. Yeah, 7-7 for the Rebels.
Match, but
Carlton Prep can be sneaky as well.
Yeah,
they have a solid team. I just don't know how far they could go in this playoff.
If they sweep people, like they might be able to sweep people, but if they have to go to a 3rd game, they might get in trouble because the pitching depth.
That's the thing.
Front line's really good, but then it kind of drops off.
That's a tough spot because you got. I mean, how many good players are right there in Colleton County? And I mean, you get, the Colleton County team and Colleton Prep. I mean, I'm just not sure they have the numbers.
Yeah.
To fund two good ones.
Yeah, pitching wise, I don't know if Colleton Prep has enough depth pitching wise. From what I've seen in some of the games that I've paid attention to from them this year, for a 3-game set, if it goes to 3 games, I just don't know if they have enough pitchers to do 3 games.
You saw them at the farm, Strickland. That's what happened to them at the farm. They were right in it with you guys until they ran out of bullets and then had to go.
Has anybody seen Dorchester?
No, I know they're pretty solid, and their region was the most competitive out of all 3.
Well, they're always good,
and they were beating up on each other, but they came out on top. I think their record was like 7-1 in the region or something, but they're pretty solid.
One of the old coaches from Charleston Southern, Zach Hageman, Hags helps out there. They're always going to be good. He can coach.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, hey, boys, let's look at this 3A bracket real quick, and then we got to move on, talk some soccer and softball because we got other guests.
This is my bracket, baby.
Here you go. Yeah, here's your bracket, Max.
Yeah, man. First time a 1 seed in God only knows how long they've been since they've been a 1 seed. I'm excited for this one.
Let's zoom in a little. There we go.
I haven't done enough research on what Florence Christian is this year. I'll look it up.
They're 10-10, but they're in a region with PD and Williamsburg, so they finished 3rd. So I think they're better than their record is.
That area plays good baseball. West Florence, South Florence, Florence.
Sure do.
They'll be good.
Yeah,
they'll be good.
I mean, either. Yeah, because JP2 is probably going to go with Putnam in the first game, I would assume. But that second game, if they do win and they play Christian Academy, I just don't know who they would pitch in that situation. I would assume it's oh boy,
the Wig, or they threw Cotter against them last time.
You got Monday.
Cotter did all right against them, I think, last week. Yeah, you just never know. You would think JP2 wants that first win.
Oh, you got to win that first one. That's the most important one.
Yeah.
Well, and then they go, if they lose, they go Wednesday.
Right.
So that's a tough spot.
Oh, yeah, is that right? No, hold on.
Yeah,
No,
if they lose, they go Wednesday, and they got to go Friday,
Wednesday.
Monday to get back in it. If
Wait.
they win, they go Tuesday, Friday.
No, so all right, hold on. Let me look at this. So Florence, so whoever loses that game play. Okay, yeah, I do see that. But if JP2 wins and then loses to Christian Academy, they'd play the winner of the.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Winner of Florence Christian and either Williamsburg or Northside. So,
yeah.
I've looked into Williamsburg. They are good.
Yeah,
I've looked into PD, and as always, PD always has a strong team. I mean, I don't think there's ever been a year where they don't have a strong team. So,
and I remember Augusta Christian, aren't they? Or they must be 4A.
Yeah, they're 4A.
I think they're 4A. But Christian Academy beat them this year, by the way. So
they did.
I just heard they were good. I don't know.
Yeah, they're solid. They're always solid. But,
prep against Greenwood Christian. That's an interesting one. I'm intrigued by that game.
I think Prep will win.
No. Don't count out Wellesley.
I do think Prep will win, but they would end up playing
off at 2:30.
Tell you, those Middleton kids have been swinging that well, especially Sammy Middleton.
Sammy Middleton's a dude.
Yep.
Yeah,
and then man, PD Academy, man, that's the one if I'm Hillman Christian, that is the team I worry about the most is PD Academy.
I can't see anybody beating those guys twice. Somebody might get them once. I don't think they're going to get them twice.
Yeah.
Well, it's never easy.
PD would get them once if they get to. Well, actually, no, because they'd be playing a series, so it'd be a 3-game set. So I don't. Yeah, I don't see how this Christian Academy team is just so good on all sides of the.
Well, the only thing you don't know, like I know that one of their bullpen arms is down.
Yeah, I do know that.
You know, I ain't trying to put medical information out there or anything, so I'm not going to name names. But I know at least one bullpen arm is down. And you just don't know. You don't know where guys' arms are unless you're inside the circle sometimes going into the playoffs. And sometimes it looks on paper like somebody's got a whole bunch of arms, but in reality, they really don't.
Well, you don't need a pile of them when you're already in the final 8.
Yeah, from what I've seen right now, they got their.
But you still got to win 3-game series.
They have 3 starters too. If you think about it, they got James Crosby, they have Zane Wilson, and they have oh my lord.
I mean, I think they got plenty of arms. I'm not saying they don't have enough arms. I'm just saying, like, sometimes there's unknown things within a team.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. You just never know what's going to happen. But I don't. If you look at that bracket, other than I don't know.
For all intents and purposes, it should be Hilton Christian and PD.
Well, they can bang with you. They can beat you in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, they can. They're tough.
Yeah.
And, they
well, hey, boys, we better wrap up the baseball portion of this thing if we want to get out of here by, a decent time tonight. But we appreciate you. And
what about soccer? Get Misa in here.
Yeah, we got Misa B Trollin coming up.
I'll get Paige on for you.
And then we got Scott Rass coming to talk softball. So gonna be good.
Let's go.
Mullis, we'll see you over at the tank tomorrow night. And
yeah, man.
I'm sure you'll probably hop in here and talk about it.
See you guys.
And Stricklander at the farm, same thing.
Well, I'll be at Buford Academy for soccer, but
all right. Well, we'll have to get somebody else from the farm then.
Yeah, there was somebody there.
All right, boys, be good.
All right, thanks, guys.
Coach Mullis and the Stricklander peacing out on us tonight. That's the baseball playoff preview. Let's shout out some sponsors, and then we'll shift gears. The MVP sponsors of LowcoSports start with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. She is with Keller Williams, the Low Country, and she'd love to help you find your place in the Loco or move on to a better place in the Loco if you want to put the home on the market. Great time to get into the Loco real estate market with Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. We've also got Homegrown Home Inspections. Our official home inspector, Jan Lucas, and his team are the best in the biz in the Loco when it comes to checking that house out, making sure it's a great investment. If you're building a new home, you got to have that phased inspection from Homegrown Home Inspections. And Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate closing attorney of LowcoSports, presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, and our original sponsor since since 2017. They've been supporting us, so please call on Mickelson Law Firm for your legal needs. And Hospice Care of the Low Country, official hospice provider of Loco Sports, only not-for-profit hospice in southern Beaufort County, providing all kinds of vital services at the end of life, because at Hospice Care of the Low Country, it's not about dying, it's about living. Those are our MVP sponsors, and now it is time to talk soccer. And we got the Loco soccer expert, Misa B. Trollin. Welcome, sir.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, buddy? You ready for playoffs?
Yeah, as ready as I can be. You know,
right into it.
Yeah.
So we get into it tomorrow night with you guys at West Florence, rematch of last year's playoffs. Also in 4A boys, Lugoff Elgin at Bluffton. In 3A, Beaufort goes to Aner. 2A, Hampton County at Cheraw. And in 1A, Bethune-Bowman at Whale Branch. Isn't that a region matchup? That's wild.
Oh, there's a lot of region matchups.
So the 1A is a little weird how they do the boys soccer bracket. If I can pull that up, I think it's
I'm fixing to get it.
Yeah, it's the boys and the girls. So for the boys in 2A,
the girls is 1A, 2A combined, right?
Yes, that's correct. Now the girls is really weird because you combine Class 1A and Class 2A, and you just put them all together. Well, you still have the lower state and the upper state, but it's all smushed together, and you see them 1 through 13, 1 through 15, 16, whatever. But yeah, we got ourselves a nice little loco on loco matchup from the get go. In a 2-way 1A crossover match. Bridges Prep.
Let's go 1A.
This is the boys.
Yeah, 1A boys.
This is the boys bracket. So
32 deep.
Yeah, it goes 32 deep unnecessarily because there are not enough 30
with a lot of buys.
Right. Yeah, that's the one. The other one I was thinking of, the 1A. You see them 1 through.
So basically, what the top 4 seeds?
There's a couple buys.
Yeah, so
Bridges is the 3 seed. They get a buy against the 30.
Yeah.
No,
right. So that's the one that's all squished together. Is the boys.
1A and 2A
get to
here. Right, so Bridges Prep gets a bye, and then Whale Branch versus Bowman for the right to play Bridges.
So 1A and 2A soccer for boys and girls, it's seeded, and they have a playoff committee that gets together. They got together Friday morning, and they go over kind of the resume of all the teams, and then they seed them because there's not many teams. So the girls are 1A and 2A. The boys have a 1A bracket. As you see, it's 20 teams maybe. And then the boys have a 2A bracket as well. So 1A, I think we have Rural Live Oaks, Whale Branch. I don't know when's the last time Whale Branch boys have made the playoffs, if ever. And then we got Bridges, who will play the winner of Whale Branch and Bethune-Bowman. So that's going to be a region matchup. And then on 2A, I think we just have – this is 1A, 2A girls. So you got Bridges versus Hampton County, a local on local matchup. And I think – and it's, hey – Bridges in Hampton County, first round playoff. Guess who you get to play second round?
Oceanside.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Here's your reward.
Yeah. Congrats on a great season. You made the playoffs. Get a nice local matchup at Beaufort. Winner goes to Mount Pleasant to play one of the top girls teams in the state, regardless of class.
It's like when Battery Creek girls basketball won and got to go to Camden.
Interesting bracket there.
I think so. 1A, 2A girls, it's going to be, it won't be a long run for the local girls, unfortunately, just because you have Oceanside, you have Bishop England. For the boys 1A, I do think there is potential that a local team could make it as far as the semifinals and even state championship. If you look, Rural Live Oaks is a 4 seed. They host Southside Christian in the second round. That's a decent matchup. Southside Christian is a traditionally good, solid boys program. They've been kind of the downside the last few years. Rural Live Oaks had a great year. They only lost 1 game, and that was against Bridges last week, Tuesday. And that was, I think, 2-0. I think Bridges ended up winning the region. So Bridges has a higher seed because they had a stronger schedule. If you look at Rural Live Oaks' schedule, they only played their region games. They didn't play anybody outside, whereas Bridges kind of ventured out a little bit to play a few games. So they have the higher seed because of that. I think Bridges has a chance. It could be a potential Bridges and Wellbranch. Not Wellbranch, I'm sorry. Royal Live Oaks matchup for Lower State. But I do think that that'll be a potential Lower State matchup. But like you guys noticed, there's no Upper State and Lower State in 1A. It's just everybody. So
they couldn't meet until the finals.
Because on the upper side,
Bridges is in the 2-3 side of the bracket with Christchurch, and Royal Live Oaks is in the 1-4 side with St. Joseph's.
Yeah. So the private schools are the favorites, unfortunately, which is not surprising, in 1A.
Right. Yeah. But 4A boys getting started tomorrow night. Let me get that bracket up here so we can break that down. Coach Rass waiting to talk softball later on. Here we go. Got Bluffton hosting Lugoff Elgin for the right to go to Myrtle Beach. How good's Myrtle Beach this year? Real good?
They're pretty good. Yeah. They've had a pretty decent schedule. It's tough because we don't have any similar teams that we played, Myrtle Beach, Bluffton, or even us at Mary River.
No transitive property.
No, so I think they played Waccamaw. Sure, they did, but there's none. But they're still solid. Bluffton should win against Lugoff, but Lugoff pulled the upset last year. Right. And Lugoff is kind of weird because they get destroyed by Irmo early this year, like 6-7-0. But then each time they played AC Flora, who's a region champion and hasn't lost a game this year, both games were 1-goal differences. So it's kind of tough to gauge what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, it's all about how you're playing coming into this point of the season. I don't care
exactly,
what you did. Like I said in baseball, I mean, you don't care what you did in February. It's about how you're playing now in April heading into May. And so, if this Arnold team is playing, or if this Lugoff Elgin team is playing their best soccer, it's going to make it a game. And I expect a close game. I'll be at that one coming tomorrow at Bluffton at the Den, and I'll have to see if Connor Worrell will be joining me for that one, our soccer correspondent.
I would guess he plans to get out there.
Yeah.
But Connor, if you're watching, give us confirmation, and I would love to talk to you and cover the game with you. Yeah.
Make sure that he's understanding of the schedule, because I mean that's the thing is like this thing just got put on the schedule, right? So we got to make sure he's clued in. But I'm sure he's loved covering that Bobcat team.
I know he's exam. If he's a student, I understand it's exam time, so we'll have to.
True story. True story. So that bracket looks pretty interesting. I like. I mean, your goal is to get back for another shot at James Island in the lower state semis, right?
Yeah. And that's kind of, we have a pretty tough matchup tomorrow at West Florence, a rematch of last year's game that went down to penalties. And so it should be a pretty close match as well. But that's for us. That's what we're going to do. If we can win Monday, then Wednesday, we're going to travel to AC Flora, who's not lost a game this year. But it's interesting because our region is so tough that it's kind of difficult to gauge because the other regions in Lower State aren't as competitive. They're not as full. So, we had 5 teams that are playoff worthy caliber teams, and every game was a playoff game. And then you look at like Region 5 and Region 6 where you have 2 top heavy teams, and then the rest is kind of just filler. So it'll be interesting to see for us how we do tomorrow. I would not be surprised if taking my coaching hat off here, I'm going into local FC reporter. Would not be surprised if all Region 7 teams move on that are playing tomorrow. So James Island has a bye. Beckham is hosting. They should win that game. Hopefully Bluffton wins that game. Hopefully Mid River wins their game. And then you're looking at a potential Region 7, for all 4 teams in the last
Jamboree.
Jamboree. Oh,
sounds good. Looking at the 3A boys, your mentor Rollins taking his boys up to Ainer tomorrow.
They should win that game.
Yeah.
That'll be that's one of those where Region 7 for soccer is not that good in 3A. So they should win, and then they go to Camden. I'm interested to see how that one goes. Camden and Gilbert. That's going to be a closer game. Don't look at the region seedings because it's Region 6 in soccer is not that strong in 3A either. But you're looking at a potential where Buford could host second round if Gilbert can beat Camden. And even if they have to travel to Camden, it should be a good game. I think Buford will end up hopefully going to the third round. And then you're looking at Hanahan right there.
Hanahan probably comes out of that pod, right?
Yeah, Hanahan comes out of that one. So it's going to be Lower State. It's Waccamaw is the team to beat. They've had a strong season. They played some very tough non-region teams. They kind of did that from last year.
On the other side of the bracket.
Yep, they did that from last year. They kind of cruised through it, and then they lost in dramatic penalty shootout fashion to Buford at Waccamaw. So they're kind of trying to fix that wrong on their end. And they played a lot of tough teams. I mean, they played us. They played Lucy Beckham. They played 5A teams, Chapin and everything. So they are battle tested. But I think Buford will have a nice deep run. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Hanahan versus Buford in the third round, and it could be Waccamaw and Philip Simmons up in the upper half of the lower bracket. So should be good. I think the only challenge for tomorrow is going to be the trip.
Yeah, it is a rough trip. It is a rough trip. Want to look at 4A girls?
Yeah,
I don't expect Hampton to do much damage in the 2A bracket, although the boys had a solid season, but
they did. I think Hampton is who they're playing. I forgot that they might win the first round. I think they will. I think Risen plays Edisto.
Let's look at that 2A boys bracket actually,
which are region matchups. So that's the thing with 2A. You get so many Risen and Edisto are playing. Risen is hosting. They just played Edisto twice this past week. And then
silly.
The winner plays Oceanside. Hey, congratulations! You get to play. That's the reward. Hampton plays Sherrod. That'll be a pretty decent game. It'll be a close game. But again, if Hampton pulls the upset,
they got to go to Bishop England.
So
not even a fair fight.
No, it's hopefully this should get better next year.
It'll be a lot better next year.
Hampton is much better this year than they have been the last few years. They're kind of downside, so it's good to see them kind of coming around this side, so it should be more competitive. And then Rizzon's going to 1A. Hardyville is joining the fray. Right. I think 1A is going to be fun because I think Hardyville and Rizzon are going to kind of be the strong teams in Lower State for 1A next year. Just because Hardyville has so much talent at JV team. And they should be pretty solid. And I'm curious to see, as we all know with all sports, how the Jasper County breakup is going to happen now that Hardyville will have varsity sports for the first time. It's going to be rough for most sports. And I think for soccer, it won't be as rough for Hardyville, but I do think Rizzon's going to fall back a little bit just because of the amount of time they have in that varsity team from Hardyville. So, 2A and 1A, 1A should be good for the boys. Girls, no. 2A girls, no. 2A boys, I think.
Well, Hampton girls now are pretty decent. They won their region, which I know their region isn't the strongest. But still, they play Bridges, and then if they win, they got to play Oceanside.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Go ahead, Justin. Continue. Let's talk about the upset of Oceanside and Hampton.
You're right. You're right. I'm so sorry.
What about Buford girls? I know they're pretty.
Well, I had 4A girls pulled up first. May River home against Ridgeview, so that's good. Ridgeview tough. Columbia is usually pretty tough, right?
No, not in 4A. Columbia 4A is AC Flora, and if you go look at those scores, I think AC Flora won every region game by like 10 goals.
I got you.
So
your girls have a pretty decent. Well, is West Florence really good this year?
They're solid. They split with Myrtle Beach, so they're going to be solid.
Okay.
I'm hoping, hold on, let me take my coaching hat off again. My River by side hat off.
It's winnable.
It's winnable game. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the quarterfinals is May River versus James Island.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, just because and they split the series. Only now the game will be at James Island, but May River girls beat James Island 2-0 at the backyard. So it's definitely plausible they could win. But May River should win Tuesday night at home. And then it'll be a tough matchup against West Florence. And then Hilton Head has Myrtle Beach first.
Right.
That should be a close matchup as well. I want to say Hilton Head has more talented players. So I'm kind of picking them to kind of win out of that. And then they travel to AC Flora. That'll be a tough game. AC Flora has had some really good results against some strong teams. this year. It just the region has not been as strong as the 4A girls region for Region 7. But like this is with the boys. I wouldn't be surprised if all Region 7 teams make it out the first round, and then second round will be a little tougher. But
do not count out Kyle Newcomb's team because he's got those young ladies playing some really strong soccer. I got to see him at your place at May River and how they hung on for really that was a tremendous game, by the way, 4-3 Seahawks winning, but that was a fantastic soccer game. May River fought hard, but the Seahawks a little bit too much. Tapia had a tremendous game. Andrea Tapia, she's awesome, and they've got some young players who have really done a good job stepping different roles in that team. So Hilton they have the capabilities of pulling off the upset on the road for sure if Newcomb can get the best out of those players. So definitely do not sleep on the Seahawks. I know I'm biased. I'm an alum, but I have to give them their credit because they've taken a big step forward this year. So keep an eye on them.
In the last 2 years, the 4 seed from Region 7 has gone as far as the third round, if not higher. Remember 2 years ago, Hilton Head went all the way.
How good that region has been.
Yep. So that's kind of the standard there for the 4 seed in Region 7. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see an all Region 7 lower state semifinals like we did last.
It's possible for sure.
But
there's your Buford girls bracket. They've got Georgetown in the first round.
That's a win.
And, I mean, they should cruise through the first 2 rounds, right?
Yes. Waccamaw is going to be a tough one.
Waccamaw is the top team.
Battery Creek.
Yeah, Battery Creek's going to be sacrificial to Waccamaw, I'm afraid.
There's nothing happening. No, Waccamaw is the favorite to repeat as the girls 3A state champions. They are a very strong team. We were kind of curious how they were going to come back this year because they lost a lot of the key players last year, but it looks like it was just a reload, not a rebuild.
Buford, I think could make it tough for them. Not a walkover.
That's going to be a fun game because Waccamaw likes to score, Buford likes to score. So I would be surprised if it's like a 4-3, 5-4, just a shootout, just goals galore, everywhere. We might have a 10-9 game or something. So that's going to be, if Buford can get past Waccamaw, then I think they have a very good chance of being in Columbia in 2 weeks. But that'll be they should win the first.
That would be cool to get the boys, girls back to back playing for state titles for Buford.
Cool. Yeah, man.
Especially a year after losing Quinn Wilson, who, you wish you could have had her back for one more year, but even so, it's a new identity now. It's not the, packed in and let your goalie do the work and keep your team in it. It's a much more fast-paced offensive style team.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Well, that sets the soccer brackets. So we'll let Misa get out of here. We appreciate you, buddy, and we'll we hope to hear good results tomorrow night when you tweet it out yourself.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to see if we can live stream, but I think we got to pay a fee for that with playoffs. But we'll hopefully I can jump on tomorrow on the bus with good results. So there
we go. Sounds good, man. Be good.
All right, guys.
Misa B. Trollin, a.k.a. Misael Garzon, May River Soccer. The Sharks opening the playoffs at West Florence tomorrow night. Varsity sponsors of LowcoSports. DDS Web Design builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties, and they jumped on board to help us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Loco. Reverence Wrestling Club is the official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and the presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind. If you want to take your skills on the mat to the next level, get over to Reverence Wrestling Club. And Dr. Ambrose Cole, official chiropractor of LowcoSports. He's at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Those are our varsity sponsors. And now we welcome to the show the coach of the Buford High softball team, Scott Rast, also the father of, star girl we talk about every night, it seems like, Kylie Rast. But what's going on, Coach?
How are y'all doing, fellas?
Doing good, man. I know you're a loyal viewer, so our audience is down by 1 tonight with you in the studio, but we appreciate you jumping in. Been a great season for you guys. Has to have been really fulfilling for you as both dad and coach, seeing the success that Kylie's had and seeing her kind of lead a young group along and nurse them along and get you to this point. But, tell us a little bit about this season and how excited you are to start the second season here in the playoffs.
Well, it's been a lot of fun. We lost 9 off of last year's team. We only had 4 starters coming back, and to see what they've been able to do and become a team and really make the playoffs and make the run that we have had, and having our chance to fight it out for the region championship was a lot of fun. It was unexpected, but I think these girls have a lot more left in them, and we're just going to see what happens.
Yes, sir. We got the bracket here. You guys opening with a long trip up to Dillon, up to Pedro land.
No. We're at home.
Oh, you're at home. Sorry.
Down to us.
Long trip for them from Pedro land. My bad. But then you would have to go to Swansea potentially in second game, although I don't know that Swansea Lake City matchup. What's that look like?
I know Swansea is undefeated in their region. Looks like they have a couple of good pitchers. Lake City with Region 6, that's Darlington, Marlborough County group right there. I really think Swansea's going to take that one and preparing to, after if we can take care of Dillon, preparing for Swansea after that.
Right on. Fellas, get in there.
Yeah, I look at that. I think the way y'all can play, I think y'all can have a real good shot if you beat Dillon and end up playing Swansea. I like the bracket you guys are in right now. Despite that Swansea team, I know that they're a strong team this year, but I look at that and I say, they've fought and have had real good wins all season long. So you guys are able to compete with just about anyone. So I'm not worried about that game if y'all end up playing Swansea. So
I'm worried about the Dillon game right now, to tell you the truth.
That's right.
That
Dillon's no joke.
Yeah, that region is one of the toughest in the states with Aner, Dillon, Loris, and that's a tough region. So they're battle tested. We've got our work cut out for them.
Yeah, Coach. What did you tell your team after that regular season ending game against Hanover? You guys, you played a great game on the road, couldn't get it done, but now you move forward. What do you tell your team as you move on from the heartbreak there to get ready for this postseason where it's really this is where it matters, and just to get yourself refocused for what your game is ahead.
Yeah, we didn't do a whole bunch of talking up there. We all were hurt. It was a tough game, but we had their prom was coming up Saturday. So I just don't forget about it. Go enjoy prom, and we'll worry about it on Monday. So we're just going to try to flush that one and see what the heck can happen. We got to let that bygones be bygones, flush the errors, and go out and see what we can do.
And it's a new opportunity. You guys have, even though you're 2 seed, you put yourself in a good draw with an opportunity to advance out of this district bracket, and that's all you hope for. But I want to hear more about Kylie and about how really she has taken control, not just with her dominance out there on the field, but how she has inspired the best play out of her teammates this year in her senior season.
It's interesting to watch her growing up. Like y'all have been able to see her from 7th grade, 8th grade, all the way through. Yeah. And seeing her go from being afraid to say anything, even as a sophomore, to really stepping up and trying to get everybody to realize, you only have so many games. And it was more interesting to watch her come to that realization that these games are coming to an end. These high school games, this high school season is quickly coming to an end. And to hear her talk to the girls and try to lift them up has been really a pleasure to watch and see her grow up and start trying to become a leader. It's something that's absolutely fantastic. It's a proud daddy moment, proud coach moment, because as teams go, if you're going to be a championship team, it has to be led from the players.
That's right.
Good teams are led by coaches. Great teams ended up being led by players, and she's trying to bring a few of them along and teach them how to do it. So it takes a lot off of my plate and off the coaching staff's plate. But you lead by example too, and she does do that. It didn't do this, do that. She kind of leads the way and say we need to. It's all about we. It's not about me. So it's fun to see her. And then when she comes on here and how she talks, really makes me very proud to be her dad and her coach.
Yeah, man. It's awesome. Looking at this 4A bracket, you guys have some familiarity with some of these teams. May River going to open at home against North Myrtle, and then they would get Lugoff or West Side in the second round if they win or lose, I guess. And then on the other side of the bracket, you got Colleton going to Hartsville, potential rematch with AC Flora or Northwestern in the second round. Both of those teams, seeded, Colleton seeded a little lower than I probably would have expected this year, but both those teams have some juice, man. Those are solid squads.
Oh, yeah. I think the biggest problem is going to be for Colleton would be their pitching.
They don't really have a pitcher. They have a couple kids who are pitching.
Yes, and that's going to be kind of hard for them to overcome and make a huge, deep run. Lugoff is really good, and to see, May River, they get by North Myrtle, and then they start looking at Lugoff. I know the coach from Lugoff was took over a program and has kept that program rolling. So that's going to be a big second round game for May River.
And West Florence is really solid too, right?
West Florence has a they took
out Colleton in the lower state finals a couple years ago.
Yeah, and they got that pitcher returned, and their pitcher is pretty tough. Her and Kylie have been 1-2 in strikeouts for the state, I believe. I kind of saw that, but they're going to have their hands full with West Florence.
Yeah, tough bracket for them. But I think they've had a really solid season. I really like Coach Hess and what she's doing over there. I like that May River program. They've done a good job. Just need that dominant pitcher, and they'll be something else.
Oh, yeah.
But as you've learned, it takes how many hours on a bucket to develop a dominant pitcher?
Oh, God. A lot of beat up shins, a lot of miles walking to go chase balls. But you have to, the pitcher has to be willing to do it. Yeah. I could be willing to sit on the bucket if she wasn't willing. It's just, and then willing to realize there's always somebody out there trying to do better. And that's the one thing that I really enjoy about Kylie is she will always try to get better. She's not resting on her laurels. So, and then if you have that on any player at all, you got something special.
That's right. Yes, sir. Well, good luck Wednesday night against Dillon. I think that one's going to be on Buford's Own, and I would be surprised if somebody from Team Lowco didn't show up. I got to coach a 10U rec softball game that night, so I'll be with the Electric Eels. I won't be making it over there, but
I'll be there. Don't worry.
And how excited are you to get to make a few? I know you're going to keep coaching next year. Is that Kylie peeking in?
Yeah.
I know you're going to keep coaching next year. I asked you that the other day. You're going to kick off and go follow her around. You said, no, I gotta keep something of my own. So, but I know you're looking forward to making some road trips to go watch her play at North Greenville.
Oh yeah. We're already trying to plan out the weekends when she gets up there and go watch. It's going to be a lot of fun. My son won't be too far away up there in Asheville, so we're going to try to make weekends out of it to go see them both and have a blast. Get to be a dad and just watch.
So who's where in Asheville?
Hunter is playing for Montreat up in Asheville.
Oh
yeah.
Nice.
And they've got
up there.
Yeah, they've got a playoff game Tuesday, I believe. It's a 5-6 matchup, and they avoided the play-in game, so they made their conference playoff. So we'll see what happens.
Very good. Yeah, you're going to be all over. You're going to be on the road all the time. You still got one in high school after this?
Dylan will be a senior at Buford High.
Man. One more year till empty nester syndrome kicks in, right?
Yep. Good thing most of the colleges do the games online and stream them, so
that's
we can watch and go from there.
It's good to live in the future.
Yes, sir.
Well, we appreciate you, man, and great job this season, and building up that program over the years. It's been yeoman's work, but you've done a terrific job, and we hope you continue to see success going into the playoffs.
Thank you. Thank y'all for all that you do for the sports around here in the Low Country. We enjoy it, and you don't get told enough thank you, but thank you very much for all that you do.
Appreciate you, brother.
Sure. See you Wednesday, Coach.
All right, let's go Eagles.
Look forward. Go Eagles.
Coach Scott Rass, appreciate that guy. Always great to talk with him. Anytime you go over to Ladies Island to a sporting event, and he's always around. And
he's really so much fun to watch, Coach. He is,
man.
I love
this guy. He's just a fun dude.
I love people get really into it and have the passion for it. He definitely does. Just from talking to him and seeing that just love of the game and helping improve the players that he has on his squad, and you got to have that drive and that passion to just influence these kids and give them a chance to succeed. And that's what the best coaches do around here. They make them not just outstanding players, but outstanding young men and women. That's what it takes. So I love that.
It's a great framework. It's a great sports is a great framework for developing.
The best part about that Buford team is they are so young.
So young.
They are super young, and the fact that they are a 2 seed out of their own region is incredibly impressive. So
they lose Kylie obviously, but Adeline Johnson's pretty good little pitcher. Like they're still going to be a problem next year, especially with the young kids growing up as much as they did this year. I think Buford softball's starting to pick up steam in the Buford area a little bit, and I think we could see that program continue to be successful. So I'm glad Coach Rass is sticking around. Coach Rose, he stepped away and after his daughter graduated. But I asked Coach Rass, I was like, "What are you going to do?" the other day, and he said, "Man, I got to keep coaching. I think I still got more to give." And there's there's a lot of kids.
It's going to be more. It's going to be so much exciting fun next season when they're playing 4A against May River, Hilton Head,
for sure,
Bluffton, and all those teams. It's going to be real
Bluffton
fun.
And Hilton Head get back on a better level.
I have a feeling they're going to be better next season. Both teams are going to
have some holes to fill as well. They've had a couple of really good graduating classes in a row, so they're going to have to kind of rebuild a little bit, but. Good softball culture in that county though. So Loco Booster Club helps keep us going, makes this all possible. The Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court, are Loco natives with Charter One Realty, and they want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Revive Rehab, women's health and pelvic floor physical therapy is a great spot for new moms. Dr. Allie and Dr. Jen will help you get feeling right. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel, plus all kinds of other cool stuff. They can do the heads on sticks for graduation and stuff, all kinds of stuff. Go check out their showroom on Argent Boulevard. Let them know that Loco sent you at Eagle Creations. Jay's Barbershop, great place in downtown Ridgeland. If you need a haircut or if you just want to get some great conversation, go in for the talk and come out looking stylish at Jay's Barbershop.
It's the place to be.
It is. It's a great place to be. You might run into one time too. He gets over there. And Barefoot Floor Care, the Low Country. Chris Odom and his team get your floors so clean, your feet will thank you. We're ready for the playoffs, boys. Where are you going tomorrow night? It's win or go home time.
Yeah, I was just talking, I think texting Max the other day and just saying how excited I am for this week. And I'm sure you can echo me when I say like this is such a fun thing, a fun time of the year. It's just like you get so many different games every evening, and because you have to lose twice in baseball and softball, you still have teams who can you got more games that way because you have teams that are trying to stay alive after losing their first game. And then soccer, I mean, it's just so much fun because you really just never know what can happen, especially in soccer where the margins are so thin and It's just the one, bad bounce turns the game upside down. So that's what makes it really fun.
Shootout in soccer is exciting in the regular season. Wait till you get to the postseason. Life on the line shootout.
Right. That's my favorite part of the World Cup and those big tournaments is when they go to a shootout. It's just a level of intensity that you just don't see. But I will say that it's just really, really exciting. And I've seen a couple of shootouts. I remember Hilton Head guys had some electric ones in that. I think 2012 when they got the state championship under Coach Quinlan, and then 2013 when they won it. I think they had shootouts in both those years, or at least one of those years, and it was at home. And my God, it was absolutely incredible to watch that unfold and the atmosphere over there at the Nest back in the day. But yeah, it's a really exciting time of year, and I am pumped to see this Bluffton Bobcat team compete in what should be a very good match against the Lugoff Elgin squad that should not be taken lightly. They've come on late in the year. They've played a lot better these last few weeks, and Josh Fox's team is going to have to be at the top of their game if they want to move on and advance further.
Oh yeah, should be a good one. Max, where are you going, buddy? You going to the tank for some May River baseball, or heading out to the farm? What are you doing?
Unfortunately, I have to work.
Oh, you're heading to the Publix. All right.
Yeah, unfortunately. The one game I'm looking well, actually, there are two games I'm really looking at for tomorrow, and that's May River Irmo and JP2 Florence Christian. Those are the two games that I will be keeping a very close eye on.
Yeah, you got to see who your Eagles get next.
Yeah, for sure. And also, Tuesday I will be at the Hilton Head Christian Academy game on Tuesday.
Nice.
And then Wednesday I might make the trip up to Beaufort to go watch or possibly if Javon is doing Beaufort's own broadcast for that Beaufort softball game, which I have a feeling he will, but we shall see. I might hopefully be commentating for that Beaufort
boys golf meet at
nice, in the morning hours. Yep.
Morning hours. Oh yeah, 18-holer. All right, let's go.
So that's what my week looks like, and then as you guys know, Thursday I'm going to be out of town, heading up north to Ohio, but I will be keeping up on joining y'all on the podcasts live from beautiful state of Ohio, and I will love to just talk with you fellas as the playoffs continue.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
We'll keep you in the loop, and you can keep bringing us your analysis. So
sweet.
All right, fellas. Well, I'll probably go hang out with the Sharks over at the tank then, since you're not available. Take my camera, watch a little ball.
Take your bug spray
6 o'clock start. Should be a nice evening.
Yep.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Take your
all
bug
right,
spray
boys.
as well.
What's that?
Take your bug spray as well with you, man.
Well, yeah, for
yes,
sure.
Make sure
They call the no-see-ums the 10th man over there at the tank.
So I didn't realize how bad it was. That was my first time going to some May River baseball and soccer games this season. Didn't really realize how bad the bugs were until I was there for the soccer game. I was like,
pretty rough.
Well, thank God I was wearing pants tonight, because this is really bad.
I usually try to wear pants and long sleeves when I go over there. Try not to fool with them too much.
I still have red
Get you some Ranger ready. Have some Ranger ready with you.
Red spots on my legs from last week, man.
Let's chew you up, brother.
Are a pain.
Let's chew you up. But that's the only way we keep this place from absolutely being overrun with human beings who want to live here is those no-see-ums. They drive the weak away. Only the strong survive here in the Low Country. But all right, boys. Well, we'll get back together tomorrow night to round up what all is happening on the Loco sports scene. But that'll do it for the Loco Sports Spring Playoff Bracket Spectacular. Thanks so much to Ned, Mullis, Butch, the coach, for jumping on with us, as well as Stricklander and Blue. I'm told that Blue was fast asleep until the countdown for the show started, and then he jumped up and started going wild. It's his favorite show. He loves the Loco Sports.
It's Justin.
They love us out there in Hampton County. And also thanks to Coach Rass for jumping on, as well as Misa B, Trollin, Misael Garzon. Always a great addition to the show. Thanks to our sponsors who make it all possible, and to you for showing up to listen or watch. We'll be back tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, to round up everything happening on the Loco sports scene playoffs. starting
Playoffs.
Playoffs. I was going to play that tonight. I forgot to cue it up. Playoffs. Talking about playoffs. But so we'll just have to mimic it ourselves, and everybody can imagine Jim Mora. But that'll do it for tonight. For Wes Kerr and Max Araj, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till tomorrow night, go Loco.
The Loco Sports Lowdown Podcast is a production of Loco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Loco!